All right, let's do this. Okay, and I still got people coming in. Hopefully they're muted. All right, guys. Real quick, just wanted to thank you all for coming on. I know a lot of people can't make this, that's why I'm recording it. But just wanted to go through a bunch of things. This year's a little different than years past. So rookies, obviously, it's good that you're here, but the veteran guys as well. A lot of changes this year, which I don't think will be an issue. I think we'll have a good time as usual. And we'll reset and do it again next year. So let's, I'm going to pull up a PowerPoint just like I did last time, and then we'll go through it. Let's see, let me share my screen with you guys. Okay. All right, can everybody see that? Thumbs up. Good, okay. All right, so let me move this over here. All right, guys. So, I mean, I hope everybody knows what date what week they're going to. I mean, there's a couple of you guys who in the last couple of weeks asked me to remind them what week they're in. So week 1 is coming up here very quickly, November 6th to the 11th. And then week 2 is right after. There's really no difference between the weeks. I know that's a common question, with the exception with a few alumni who can't do both weeks or only can do 1 week because of scheduling issues. So I'll go over some of that later. But just the agenda, we're just going to go over some basic info, rookie stuff. We'll go over the schedule in detail. We'll talk about some new things, what to bring. I know a lot of you have been asking me about what to bring, packing lists and stuff like that. That's all here. Go over some alumni stuff. I'll show you a map of the complex and where we'll be and all that stuff, and then we'll open it for questions. I did some of you did leave me a few questions, so that's good. I'll go over those first, then open it up to questions. But yeah, so we'll try to get through this pretty quick. Again, like I said, I'll have the chat feature open, but I won't answer those questions until the end. So feel free to type questions as we go, and then I'll scroll through them as we go, okay? All right, so some basic info. Last year, like I said, one of the big changes is that we used to just play 7 games. This year, I added a game to kind of alleviate the whole cutting off that Friday night out of the program. So that was the main reason of the finagling of the schedule. But obviously, it's an 8-game guarantee, weather permitting. You guys know I can't control the weather as much as I would love to. But we'll do our best to make sure we get as many games in if rain is a factor. This time of year, it's not really that bad rain-wise, so we are looking pretty good on that. Lawnwood, the construction of the field is well into its early stages right now. They've ripped up the field. It is no longer a baseball field at this point. The entire outfield wall is gone in the main stadium. Because they are also building a bullpen out in the left field area. There will be no bullpens inside the field anymore. So it's just a big gravel pit right now. So obviously it's not going to be ready for us this year, which I explained to you guys early on, just so you knew. But the Lawnwood facility, it's fairly close. It's about 15, 20 minutes away. Ed, the bus driver, I've already talked to him. He's already aware. You guys are more than welcome to take the bus. The bus will be doing shuttle runs back and forth every morning and every afternoon. And or you could drive there. In that file, the box link that I gave you guys, there is a directions page. I'll also have printouts for you when you get here with the actual directions to that field if you want to drive there. It's a very beautiful field, very big. It's very nice. The dugouts are huge. They're great. And the field is run by the same grounds crew that runs the fields at the park, so or at the complex. So they're very well taken care of and well kept, which is why we're going there as opposed to a high school field, which is like right around the corner, because it is not a very good field at all. So I wanted to make sure you guys played on a really good field. So we will be going there. The hotel, most of you know, we're staying at Hilton Garden Inn. It was completely renovated last year. The restaurant is open. The restaurant is, the bar is all open. There's going to be no more mobile bar there. I know a lot of you guys were bummed out about that last year, but should be fully operational for you guys this year. And we pretty much have the entire hotel booked. You guys are really the only ones staying at the hotel, so there's that. Wood, bats, cleats, gloves. One of the first things I always tell you is, make sure we provide pretty much everything for you guys. We do have bats, we do have helmets, we do have obviously the baseballs and stuff like that, but you're more than welcome to bring your own stuff as well. Obviously, we're not responsible if anything breaks, but wood bats are what we require. You can't have wood composite. We started allowing that last year, and everything was fine with that. So feel free to bring that stuff. Bring your own cleats, rubber cleats, no spikes, no metal spikes, please, 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 please. Especially on the turf field, but they're just a no-no regardless. And batting gloves, if you're into that, bring your own batting gloves. For the dinners, a lot of people always ask me, what do we wear for the dinners? I've always said business casual. Now, not everybody does that, which is fine, whatever you're comfortable in. But the most people, especially the awards dinner, everybody likes to dress up. So keep that in mind. So bring a couple pairs of nice slacks or khakis and a button-down shirt, and that's definitely suffices. Uniforms. So I know this is a weird transition for everybody this year. With the team getting rid of the big league team getting rid of the alt blues, which is what we wore the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer than that. We are moving back to the gray jerseys, which everybody who filled out the form correctly, I went by that. So if you're a veteran, I know you guys like to think I can think of everything and I know what you have, but I've dealt with over 1,000 of you at this point over the years, so I can't remember what exactly everybody has. So like I said, if you did that form correctly, you should be good. But yeah, so if you're a veteran and you said that you are bringing your white pins, so make sure you bring your white pin pants and your white pin top. Same thing with your gray away pants if you're just getting the gray top. So please, please, please don't forget that. New guys, you don't have anything to worry about because you're getting full new sets. Some of you were a little different where you just needed pants or you just needed a white top or, whatever. Whatever you guys put on the form is what I did. And for the most part, I've gotten all the uniforms in, with the exception of a few late add-ons. I still haven't got those yet, but everybody's uniform has been correctly spelled and correct. So that's good. Win one for Nike. So the pairings, I've gone over this several times. I know a lot of you, not a lot of you, but there's a few groups that are 4s, 3s, as I've told you, and I'll tell everybody here, that way everybody knows, if you're in a group of 3 or more, I've got your primary 2, and then I will, during the draft, like I've always done, I said, hey, you'll be up together, but you won't be together. So I'll be like, here's these 2, they're together, they are drafted together. This person right here is with this group. They can't be drafted together, but as we go around, if they're still available, 9 out of 10 times the coach gets them. So that is something I tell all the coaches right before the draft starts. Let's see here, the laundry loops, laundry's done every day. You'll be taught how to use the laundry loop when you're there by the clubhouse staff. They do an excellent job all week. They wash your clothes. Everything you got will be done. Your socks, your uniforms, any undergarments you have, you put it on the loop, they'll wash it, and it'll get placed back in your locker the next day, next morning. And then I think sometimes they do, they definitely do laundry midday as well. So, but before you strip down into your skinnies and switch uniforms midday, make sure you see the schedule and make sure you're not, because there will be times, there's so many teams and so many people. It's not going to be, you're going to wear a different jersey every game or every other game. Morning, you'll be home, in a way in the afternoon, you could be home as well. So just pay attention to the schedule. I post it every day. There's times where I screw up on the schedule, but I'll fix it real quick. And we'll go through and announce everything. But for the most part, if you're just paying attention to the schedule on what to wear, you'll be good. There's been times where people get a little antsy and strip down and put their other uniform on, and then they come to find out that they're the home team again. So then they got to go back and get their clothes out of the laundry and then put dirty clothes back on. So just be mindful of that in the midday. Stats, we're using Game Changer again this year. Someone did ask me for recording games. we're not doing that. There's just too many games, too many. I don't have that many iPhones laying around. So, you know, the stats will be live, so to speak. If the iPads can connect to the internet around the fields is kind of shoddy sometimes. So, especially at the Lawnwood, I told that person to use their hotspot so I can actually see what's going on if I'm not there. So, a link will be posted, excuse me, at the beginning camp on one of the walls where you can share it with your family, and they can kind of keep an eye on things. The waiver and med form. So I sent that email out. You guys should have that waiver and med form in that box drive or box link that I gave you. Please, 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 please do that beforehand and bring it with you. Do not email it to me, please. I'll get blasted with emails, and there's no way I can just sit there and print everything all out. Just bring it with you. And I will have extras on the day of check-in if you forget or you just don't do it, which I prefer you do it ahead of time. That way it's just handing in and going. With the schedule change, this year's going to be a little bit fast paced. You know, we used to just kind of go to the complex and just chill out, goof around on the fields, and that's it. Not this year. We're going straight into the evaluations. So you need to make sure you get here on time, and I'll go over all that later. But it's very important. You know, the less stuff you could do beforehand, whether it's the waiver form or anything else I mentioned, do it because it'll make all of our lives a little bit easier. Trainers, excuse me, they take very good care of you guys. We bring in a staff of Met trainers. This year we have Vanessa, Anthony Oliveri, Austin Dayton, Jesus Garcia, who's from the DR, and he's going to be doing week 1, and then Adam Devery is going to be doing week 2. Those are our 4 trainers. Very skilled, very good. I mean, these guys, Adam, Vanessa, and Austin have been doing camp for, I want to say, about 5+ years now. You know, they've been doing it for a long time. They know how it is. They love taking care of you guys. They love having you guys there. So I've seen them do some wonders. Let's just put it that way. And they'll be your best friends throughout the entire week. Trust me. The coaches, as you know, I've sent you guys the list. I do have a update for week 1. Joel Youngblood, unfortunately, had to cancel. He has a family emergency, so he will not be joining us. But I got a replacement already. Preston Wilson, Mookie Wilson's son, who played for us. He will be joining us for week 1. Moving on. All right, so you guys have all seen the schedule. Now we're going to go through it. It's very similar, like I said, to last year, but with some major changes. So on Sunday, the arrival day, draft day, the bus will leave the airport no later than 11:15. I'm sorry it had to be pushed up a little bit, but it's very important that you guys get here because you got to think that bus takes 45 minutes to get here. So that bus is getting here at noon. That only leaves you guys an hour from the hotel checking in to getting over to the complex and starting. So obviously if we're running a little late or not everybody's there, we'll push it back a little bit, but the more we push back, the longer it's going to take to do everything else. So the draft doesn't take 2 hours, but I want to leave a little cushion there just in case, because me and the coaches will need to leave the complex and get showered up and get ready for the dinner that night. So if you miss the bus or if your flight's delayed or anything, unfortunately, you're on your own at that point. I will have someone there meeting everybody for the bus. I believe it's Adam. Adam's done it the last 2 years, so I'll probably have him do it again. He'll hang around for a little bit. If there's anybody late that's on the list that's not on the bus and the bus has to leave, he'll wait a little bit and then he'll put in whoever he can in his car, which is probably 1 or 2 people max. The coaches get picked up either by the bus or the vans and stuff. I haven't gotten that list back from the travel guy yet, so I don't know if there'll be any buses. Actually, no, I take that back. All the coaches are flying in the day before. Never mind. Also something new. So all the coaches will be here on the 5th. So everyone will be here ready to rock and roll. So that's the good thing. So as I mentioned earlier to Frank, you know, you need to come to Hilton Garden Inn before you go anywhere. So even if you're not staying there, you booked your own, you know, Airbnb or whatever, come to the hotel, please, and check in first with me. I have very important paperwork that you need to fill out before you even touch foot in that clubhouse, in the stadium, or on the field. So get all that from me. The welcome packets that I usually give out to you guys, I did something very different this year, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to keep everything at the hotel. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to have everyone's welcome packet in their locker, and I'll just have a sample with me to show you, and I'll go through that, what's in it there at the hotel. So keep that in mind. But please, 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 I will be there early. I will most likely, I usually get there around 8 or 9 in the morning, even though check-in isn't until like 11 or whatever it is. So, be sure you check in with me before you even head over to the complex. I will open the complex up a little bit earlier this year at 11:30. If I'm feeling fresh about it, I'll even open it up at 11, just depending on if everybody at the complex is ready to go. But very important, just know that there is no volunteer workout. You guys will be able to get there and throw around and stuff like that, but there's like the batting practice and all that. We're not going to do that because we're going to start in the evaluations, which start at 1 o'clock. In that time before then, I highly suggest you get stretched out. Obviously, guys, the evaluations, they're important, but they're not so important where you hurt yourself. Okay. We've always told this, no matter what, take it easy. Take your time. You're not trying out for the Mets. Okay. Let's just get that straight. The coaches are very good at what they do. They can see your talent just by seeing you throw the ball and stuff like that. They don't need you to hustle and bustle down the line and stuff like that. So just be very careful, because it's a long week. Now with an extra game, 8 games, it's a very long week. You need to pace yourself. And also, don't wear your uniform. Please, 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 please do not wear your uniform on the first day. Try it on when you get there. Make sure it fits and all that fun stuff. Take pictures, all that. That's fine. But do not take it out for your workout. Please don't do that. New this year is you guys are getting shirts that have your name on the back. So and your number. So that's how the coaches will be able to decipher you with your name and number on your back. Then just wear a pair of shorts that you get, or bring extra pairs of shorts. Obviously, is always a good idea. But I'll go over what to bring later. As soon as we're all done with the evaluations, we'll bring it all inside. You you guys can get cleaned up and then head over to the hotel, take showers there. Try to avoid doing the showers and stuff at the complex. We don't want to put too much work on the guys too early, especially since everybody's got to go back to the hotel anyways. Check in your room if it wasn't ready at that point. Get ready for the dinner that night. And the coaches and myself and my staff will be hanging out and doing the draft. So with that said, that since we are doing the draft on the first day, we'll announce the teams, because we usually just did the team announcements in the tent after the draft was done during lunch. Now we'll do that at the dinner, which I think will be pretty cool. So with that said, we'll go to Tuesday or Monday. On Monday is our first full day. So we always do a meeting under the tent outside. We'll go over the daily schedule, go over any questions anybody has. We'll go through we do a thing called the gold and brown ropes. Obviously we won't do it that day, but we'll go through all that and award some lucky and unlucky person with the ropes. And then we'll have a stretch led by HSS. So our sponsors, HSS, Hospital for Special Surgery. They will be sending a trainer down each week to help our guys. Christina Martello, she was the one that helped us at the Syracuse Mets Summer Classic. She will be coming down for week 1. I do not know who the trainer is for week 2 quite yet, but Christina was great at Syracuse. She was awesome. So she's very excited to come back and help us with this one too. So thanks to HSS for that. They like to take care of you guys as well. So the schedule's been preset for the first 4 games. So the first 4 games are regular season games. Okay. You'll see the schedule later, or well, in the media guide, you'll see it, but each team is named like Port St. Lucie or St. Lucie Mets 1, St. Lucie Mets 2, New York 1, New York 2. Each team will change those names to a goofy name that the coaches decide. So just kind of when you get your team name, so like all-time 212, right? There's also like a New York or St. Lucie or Binghamton or whatever. Keep that in mind when you're doing so that way you know where to look for stats and stuff. The game 1 will start in the morning. We break for lunch. Game 2, and then the evening event that night is team dinners. Now, this is not something that the Mets, provide, but it's been a thing that we tested out years ago, and every team has gone out with their teams and their coaches, and it's a really fun night for everybody. So, um, go out with your team. It's a good team bonding moment. And our bus driver, he's more than happy to take guys to different restaurants and everything. And I mean, we have enough veterans in each week of the camp to you'll be well acclimated with the restaurants around, but just by the veterans that are on your teams. There's a lot of good spots. So and then obviously there's a lot of people that have rental cars too. So you guys can. I mean, it's never been a problem, so I'm not worried about you guys getting to where you need to get. So on Tuesday, the next day, let me backtrack a little bit. So on the welcome dinner, we introduce everybody. We usually have the rookies introduce themselves. We go over the rules. We go over a bunch of stuff that Doug will talk about. We'll have dinner. And then we'll announce the teams, and then we'll break that night, and we'll go in the next day. All right, now fast forward back to Tuesday. Tuesday is photo day. So I know a lot of people don't like doing photo day. However, I ask that you do it anyways. Especially your team photos, guys. I don't know how many times I've seen people not do team photos, and it's just like, why wouldn't you do your team photos? So team photos, we'll do a group photo and individual photos with the coaches. Now, this will be done at the tower. Same thing we did 2 years ago when we didn't have the field 2 years ago because of the construction of the actual whole facility. So we'll be doing it at the tower. So just be mindful of that. The games will start a little bit later that day, just because of photo day, but it needs to get done. So we'll do game 3 and 4, with lunch break in the middle. And then we'll have on Tuesday the casino night. So with the casino night, it's gonna be the same as last year with some. I added a poker table, obviously, for so week 2 I think had 2 poker tables, but week 1 only had 1. So 2 poker tables if you're into Texas Hold'em. There'll be blackjack and all the other stuff that we had last year. No prize wheel. And I got I'll read off some of the stuff that I'm giving away this year, but some good stuff. The team, the community outreach team, and those guys up in New York were able to give me. Now, with the casino night raffle, the way it works is that you're going to receive play money. With that play money, you're going to play, obviously. And then when you exchange those when you get your chips and you're done, say, you exchange those chips for raffle tickets. You will get free raffle tickets. So please, 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 when you get your welcome packet, don't forget your free raffle tickets that you get. You get 5 free ones. Then when you play, you also get a free I think it's $200 or $500 worth of play money. When you don't bring that, I can't give you the tickets. So make sure you bring all that stuff with you that day. Now, when you're playing and you exchange your chips for more tickets, then in the back of the multi-purpose room, which is where we'll eat before the casino night, because we'll eat from 6 to 7 and then 7 to 10 is casino night. You'll see bins and you'll see a little sign with what the prize is. And then you put your raffle ticket in whatever you want to compete for. And then I just randomly draw it, and whoever's ticket I pull wins that prize. You don't have to be, I do it the next day while you guys are playing out in the field, so you don't have to be present. I'll post up a list the next day of who won what. And just to give you an idea, so it's a little different per week. I try to split it up as best as I can. Just to give you some ideas, there's a 2018 team ball, there's a 2019 team ball. Guillermo, Familia, Davis, Rojas, Gazelman. There's a 2022 team ball, a couple Mike Piazza balls. Seth Lugo hat, Bassett hat, Peterson hat, DeGrom jersey, Conforto jersey, the 2022 no-hitter hat. Let's see here. Jeff McNeil jersey. There's some good stuff. And then the I guess the grand prize, where most of the tickets were last year was the $1,000 off next year's camp. So there is that. Now keep in mind, all the money we raise for casino night and Kangaroo Court is raised for charity. So if you don't want to play casino games or anything, and you just want to get tickets, you can buy raffle tickets. That's fine. Oh, and then one other thing I almost forgot. So this year, everybody's locker tags. Guys, every camper gets a locker tag. So don't forget to bring yours home with you when you leave. So above your locker is your locker tag. It is a legit locker tag. It's not a piece of paper. We have bigger brackets this year, so the locker tags are bigger. So with that being said, I had to make all the coaches their locker tags. So what I'm going to have all the coaches do is sign their locker tags, and those will be raffle prizes too. Okay. So that'll be one bin for all the tags, and then I'll literally just go down the list of coaches and like, okay, John Doe wins, Mookie Wilson's tag. All right. So that'll be a nice little new raffle prize. And then sometimes I get stuff during the week and I'll just throw it in there as well. So there could be some additional stuff. But anyways, so just know that all this is for charity. Same thing with Kangaroo Court when we do that. Hope for the Warriors is our charity again this year. Very good organization. Actually, those guys might be on here. Actually, we have 2 veterans who are coming to the camp, one each week, who are with Hope for the Warriors that have been awarded the camp spot. So we'll welcome them and glad to have them aboard, and thank you for their service, and everybody else for that matter who served. But no, the Hope for the Warriors is a great organization, guys. They do a lot of great things for families of veterans. So, Doug and I are very passionate about that organization. We'll keep contributing as long as we can. All right, so for those who don't want to play the casino stuff, we can arrange tours of the facility. Now, keep in mind, the main attraction of the stadium is the clubhouse, which you will be in, the big league clubhouse, which is super beautiful and very, very picturesque. But we'll have people there to take tours if you want to do that. I also am having custom cornhole boards made, fantasy camp cornhole boards made. They're going to be super nice. We'll have those in the clubhouse throughout the week if you guys want to play some cornhole. But I'll also bring those over to the casino night for anybody that doesn't want to gamble or anything like that. They can do that. Explain the raffle. We're good there. Okay. Oops. What did I do? I hit my mouse. Well, that's not good. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. So Wednesday. Now, Wednesday is the beginning of the playoffs. So the way I have it set up now that we added 2 teams, now it's 12 teams instead of 10. Every team gets a spot in the playoffs, right? The top 4 teams will have a bye. So the top 4 teams will play each other in like kind of, games that don't really count, just to get you to play a game. But that first round of games will be heavily, obviously, we're going to decide who's first eliminated from the tournament. So very, very important games for those who are not in the top 4 seeds. Now, it goes without saying, it's single elimination. Once you lose, if your team loses, then you guys are out of the contention. But you're still going to play your games. You still have stats-based awards and stuff like that. So you still want to play seriously. I did get a question, and it comes up every year, of someone who is ineligible to pitch, i.e. under 35 years old. If your team is eliminated, it is up to the coaches to allow someone under 35 to pitch, and the teams. So if everybody agrees, which usually does, obviously we don't want anybody to have a sour experience. Let the 35-year-old pitch. The guy under 35-year-old pitch, and let him have a little fun too pitching. The games don't mean anything at this point, so just the stats. But see if you can hit them. Kangaroo Court happens that night, so we'll do the first 2 rounds of playoffs, and then we'll break for Kangaroo Court. Now, this is a big highlight of the camp, obviously. Bring some cash for some fines. Anything you done throughout the week that's silly, stupid, dumb, you made a mistake, you put your shin guards on upside down, stuff like that, you can expect to get banged in court. It's all done for fun, guys. So no, obviously don't take it seriously. Same thing goes for all the joshing around and during the week. You're in a baseball atmosphere. It's a different atmosphere than you're used to. So there will be jokes and stuff like that, but just don't take it seriously. Just sit back, have fun, and you'll enjoy it more that way. So look, another thing that's a little different. So I did confirm today that HSS is going to do the Tudo Fresco cocktail hour thing, whatever you want to call it. They've been gracious enough to do it again, which is awesome. It's a fun little thing where it was usually just after the championship game that we had at night. Now it's after Kangaroo Court. So I know a lot of people always complain about no food. There will be snacks. Mookie and his family is doing snacks and stuff during Kangaroo Court, like we always done. That's also the alcohol, of course, can't forget that. But the Tudo Fresco will be right after, which, as we all know, they serve food during that. So you guys can just pop right over after the Kangaroo Court. And that's the good thing, guys. Just for those who don't know, you got your hotel, and then right across the street is the Barron, the Barron facility, which is the St. Lucie Mets Conference Hall. It's one of our sponsors. It's right across the street. And then right across the street on the other side of the hotel is Tudo Fresco. So it's a fancy restaurant. So everything is right there. So there's no reason for anybody to be driving or anything like that. Moving on. So yeah, so the Tudo Fresco night's great. You should go. It's usually an open bar for the first hour or something like that, or free beer for the first hour, and then mixed drinks and all that is charged. But they do it all night. So on Thursday, we have the semifinals and finals, the last 2 games. So we'll do our morning meeting and all that stuff like we do every day, the stretch. We'll do the semifinal games, and then we'll know who in game 8, the afternoon game, who's going to play in the championship. The championship game will start an hour after the regular games start, so that way you guys finish early. You guys can pop over and watch the rest of the championship game. The championship game will be played on field 1. Now, remember, guys, the field numbers changed since Buck Showalter came into town. So he changed everything. He got rid of that bunting field. He got rid of, they're doing some heavy construction over here right now. They're getting rid of a lot of stuff that he did not want. And the fields all have screens on them. Field 1 has a scoreboard now, or they're actually putting it up as I speak. So the championship game will be played on field 1, which is the City Field replica, which used to be field 7. Turf field is still turf, and then the other fields are 1, 2, or 2, 3, and 4 in the quad. But anyways, so yeah, we'll play the championship game in the City Field replica field. Scoreboard should be up and running, so we'll be able to use that and do all that. So that'll be good. After those games are done, the coaches and I will go retreat back into the clubhouse before they all get cleaned up and everything, and we'll go over all the awards. By then we'll know who all the stats awards are and all that, and then we'll have all that ready for that night for the dinner. Okay. So at the dinner, like I said, it's usually a little bit nicer. People tend to dress up. It's an awards dinner. It tends to run a little bit longer because we have a lot to go through, especially week 1 with the Hall of Fame stuff. As a matter of fact, I should mention that. So week 2, I know a lot of you have been curious. So week 1, the Hall of Fame guys will elect 3 campers from week 1 this year, if they see fit. So it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. And then the guys who are currently doing both weeks and the coaches will vote 2 week 2 guys, strictly week 2 guys, into the Hall of Fame. Now, it's all the same Hall of Fame. And after a couple of years of this, we'll be able to conglomerately add everybody to this whole thing, and then it'll be just Hall of Famers. The coaches won't be involved after that point. This is what we did with week 1 of last year, or when we first started the Hall of Fame. the coaches help vote them in. But once we get enough people, then it'll just be the campers that'll do that. And then we're also going to vote in one coach, just one. Okay. Oh, with that said, I should mention, I had notes to say it later, but as we all know, we lost Piggy, Joe Pignatano this year. We lost Jeff Ennis this year, and we lost John Stearns this year. Thankfully, Piggy got to get his Hall of Fame award before he passed, so I'm very thankful for that. I will be inducting John Stearns and Jeff Ennis into the Hall of Fame this year. Jeff's children will be coming in week 1 to accept his award. I'm flying them in from Atlanta the day before. Sorry, the day of. Anyway, they're flying in, so that'd be great to see them. Shannon and Keenan, they're great kids, and it'd be good to see them. As for John, I'll be doing a patch this year for John. John was our commissioner for a very long time, up until 2019. I got to see him during the Old Timers Day. We all saw him. We saw that escalated very quickly, unfortunately. So John was a very big part of fantasy camp, and I've tried reaching out to his son. They are doing a celebration of life in Colorado the week that we're doing camp. So unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to make it, but I will make sure he gets his father's trophy and stuff. It'll be a bittersweet moment, but I think, obviously, being such a big part of the camp, those two, they deserve it. All right, so on Friday, the final day. Now we'll go over the night before on Thursday dinner. When Doug Flynn closes and all that, he'll tell you what we're gonna do the next day, because it could change. You don't know. Weather seems to always be an issue on the last day, which is okay because we can still do the campers versus pro pitching in the tunnel or in the cages. But for this year, I'm gonna try to do the pitchers versus coaches, coaches versus campers pro pitching on a field, if weather permits. So instead of the cages, it's sometimes hard to see in there. If you do it on the field, it'll be much better. And I know a lot of people are asking about the pro game and stuff. We're not doing that no more. And in all honesty, this method is a lot more, I don't know, fun. I mean, it's when you did the pro game, you only had one at bat, and most likely it was 3 pitches and you're out, and that was it. That's all you did. When we do it this way, it worked out beautifully. You go up there, you can take as many hacks as you want. You can stay up there as long as you want. So, and try to hit the ball. Good luck if you get Heath. Breakfast and lunch will be served that day. I know guys tend to not come early in the morning because there's not really much going on, but the pros versus pitching, the pro pitching thing will start at 9 in the morning. So breakfast will be the same time. Lunch will be the same time at noon at the complex. And then new this year, obviously, a lot of you guys got the email about the home run derby. Right now I'm at 66 in week 1 and 51 in week 2. So what we're going to do is those who are not participating in the home run derby, if you want to go out and shag, stay along the line. I don't know exactly what we're doing yet. I haven't talked to the grounds crew about it yet. If we're going to do a line out there or flags or anything like that, or move up home plate. But I would expect it to be anywhere from 250 to 270 is the range in feet. So for guys who aren't participating and just want to watch, grab your mitt, go out and shag. Help me and some of the coaches that'll be out there figure out home runs. Week 2, unfortunately, not unfortunately, I shouldn't say that. All my staff are going to be at a wedding because one of my staffers or one of my colleagues is getting married on the 18th. So they're all gone. So I'll be really by myself on week 2 Friday. So the more campers, and plus, I think it'd be kind of fun for you guys to be out there shagging balls while these guys are trying to jack it over the fence. So that'll be a fun thing we'll do. With this amount of people, though, I'm thinking I haven't talked to Doug Flynn yet, but most like what we're gonna do is we're not doing time limit. It'll be swings, it'll be outs. The first round will be quick, probably. You only get us, 5. I'm just throwing this out there, like 5, for example. And then we'll go through everybody. Keep in mind, because everybody's got to leave by 3 o'clock. So, we'll go through it and then we'll do round 2 and round 3. All right. And then that's it, I think. Yeah, Friday. Oh yeah, so buses depart at 3. So if you are taking the bus, make sure you check out of the room. I mean, you really don't need to check. You just walk out, but make sure you bring your stuff. Don't leave your stuff at the hotel, guys, unless you're staying an extra day on your own. Bring your stuff, put it on the bus, come to the complex. Either leave it on the bus, bring what you need inside. Your lockers need to be clear on Friday. I know this is the suckiest day of the week because you're leaving and you don't want to leave, but you have to get your stuff out. So don't forget to do that. No laundry will be done that day. And then just when Ed is ready to go, he'll leave. So make sure you're on that bus if you're taking the bus. It will be a hard 3 p.m. shutdown, guys. The guys, the clubbies and everything, we need to reset for the next week, for week 1, okay? So please, please, please don't give them any grief when they're trying to, reset, because it does take a lot of work to reset that whole locker room, especially now there's 140 of you in there. Every single locker. I mean, I know some guys requested double lockers. That ain't going to happen no more, guys. We'll be using the coach's locker room, which is that room on the left that nobody really ever saw. It's a whole nother locker room. We'll be using that. So some of you will be in there. Coaches are still intermingled with you guys. So just keep in mind, a lot of work gets put into this. So please, 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 the clubhouse staff or myself, pay attention to any announcements that we do, especially on that day. Again, a lot of new stuff, so bear with us. Most likely we will be sticking to the schedule moving forward. So we'll get the kinks out of it and we'll get it going. Just going over some other things that some notes that I had down. The baseball cards, I mentioned the Tops. So Tops has given us codes this year, so you guys can go redeem your code and get Tops cards instead of the grandstand cards this year. You'll get a code after the camp is done, where you can go on their website and fill it out and make your own card. But the Mark Levine, the team photographer for the Mets, he's coming down again for week 2. Week 1 will be his assistant, Liz Flynn. No relation to Doug Flynn. She'll be down here for week 1. And Helene, who is our St. Lucie Mets photographer, she will be helping them as well. The video guys is still Highway Media. They've been doing it now for I think 4 years, so they're pretty seasoned. You all gotten the personal video form. Do not send that to me. That all goes to them. So if you have any questions regarding video and the personal video stuff, that be sure to ask them. They'll be able to help you out, because if you ask me, I'm just going to direct you to them anyway. So looking forward to having them back. One of my rules, not rules, but one of my suggestions, or I beg of you, if you guys have an issue or a problem or something happens at camp that bothers you, come to me. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't wait till after the camp is done. Please come to me. Let me take care of it. This is a very rare thing. It hardly ever happens, but it's 140 different personalities. If something's bothering you, come talk to me. We'll make it right. We'll get it figured out together, and we won't have any issues. Everybody's here to have fun. Everybody's here to enjoy the week. You guys are all spending a lot of money to come down here and have the best time of your life. And I want to make sure every single one of you have that. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that happens. But I can't help you if you don't help me by telling me if something bothers you. So please. Skill levels, another thing. A lot of people have been asking about, they're worried that, they may not be as good, or they haven't played in 30 years, which nobody here is a rock star. Okay. Everybody's here to have fun. There's some competitive campers. There's some guys who have never picked up a baseball before, but that's the beauty of this camp. Like, it doesn't matter. So, just if you come with the mindset to have fun and meeting new people, meeting the coaches, meeting the trainers, meeting the clubhouse staff, and just building new relationships, you're not going to have a problem, and you're going to have the best time of your life. And you're going to want to come next year, which is a good thing. So lunches, this is another thing that's a little different. Out of many, many years of you guys telling me the lunches are too heavy, you're giving us too much food, you're making us fat, I've dumbed down the food a lot for lunches. So thank me later. Breakfast will still have the normal omelets and all that other food that we always have. Your typical breakfast food will be served at the complex. Lunches, it's going to be a deli station, a salad station, and then a set salad like Caesar salad or whatever, with pasta salad, coleslaw, stuff like that. We are going to have a hot sandwich of the day. So like meatball sub, Reuben, whatever. And then we'll have, yeah, that's it. Sorry. Oh, and a soup of the day. So we'll have a soup of the day. So it's lighter stuff. It's good. It's got protein and all that, but no more chicken cordon bleu and stuffed lasagna and all the heavy stuff that you guys felt about here in the second inning of the next game. So, but we'll make sure you guys enjoy that. And then obviously the snacks, the bananas, the fruit, all the juices, the drinks. There's a new smoothie machine we have, so enjoy that. Peanut butter, yes, Pat, thanks for the text. Yes, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The Covenant Uncrustables that everybody and their mother asked me about. I don't know how they get whole wheat Uncrustables, but somehow we do, and they're gonna get them again. So, yeah. So no, it'll be good, guys. And then for dinners, as we all know, I don't know if you're gonna see this or not if I switch out of this, but just do you guys want to know what you're gonna eat for dinners? Because Mookie sent me the menus. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sorry. All right. Can you guys see what I have here? The menus? Okay, good. All right. So week one, it's different menus. So week one, for the welcome dinner, we got pork loin and ribs and baked tilapia with some carrot, mashed potatoes, broccoli salad, dessert, and dinner rolls. For the awards banquet for week one, beef tenderloin, chicken leg quarters, rice, green beans, yams, mac and cheese. Now, I've heard many stories about Mookie's mac and cheese, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. Salad, dessert, dinner rolls, all that normal stuff. Week two, fish, pulled pork, chicken, cabbage, green beans, roast potatoes, salad. And week twoers get to have a nice little pre-Thanksgiving dinner and smoked turkey, ribs, dressing, mac and cheese, lima beans, rice. Yeah, so very good stuff. And then the assorted platter that we usually have during Kangaroo Court. So, and Mookie says he'll make it even better than the other previous people. So, all right, so moving on. Oh, and one other thing for week two. While I'm doing all this, and some of you know this already, I booked a fair to be during the not during this, but I booked a fair for it's an 11-day fair that starts like the last day of week one. So if for those who are doing week two and are bringing families, there will be a fair in the big grass lot in front of the stadium. So you will be more than welcome to obviously take your family over there or have your wife or whoever take them over there for the fair. It's a very large fair. So that will be available for week two people. All right. So we are looking at you guys can see the PowerPoint still? Good? Yeah. Steve? Yep. Okay. All right. So let me go back to my notes here. Sorry. Oh, one other thing too. This goes without saying, but every year I have to repeat myself and have my staff and whatnot kick people off the fields. Guys, please, please, please do not let your children, do not let your family, do not let your wives, do not let your friends go on the field, especially when you're playing games or in the lockers. Please don't do it. I know you want them to experience it with you, but it's for their own safety. I've seen people get hit. It's not pretty. So please, please, please abide by those rules. And also, do not take your guests, paid or not paid. Do not take your guests into the clubhouse. That is a big no-no. I don't want to see any guest in the club. I don't care if you've been coming to camp for 20 years or it's your first year. No guests are allowed in the clubhouse, please. No one wants to see that. Trust me. So just keep that in mind, okay? Okay, I think we're good there. All right. So what's new? All right. So just another quick overview. Schedule overhaul, obviously. 2 additional teams. There'll be 12 teams this year. Be 2 coaches a team. Okay. No, there's no more 3 coaches to a team or anything like that. 2 coaches per team. We'll be using lawnwood. I know it's not ideal, but we'll make it work. I have all the faith in the world that you guys enjoy it over there. We got some new goodies. I'm not going to tell you what I'm getting you, what I've gotten you. The one thing I will tell you that I got you guys is a very nice Rawlings bag. So it's a backpack bag, baseball bag. It looks like a book bag, but it's got the little holders for the bats. It's big enough to put helmets and stuff in. So every single person's getting one of those. So the reason why I'm telling you that and not spoiling the surprise is because I know a lot of you like to bring duffel bags or something like that. So you don't have to pack that if you do not want to, because you will be getting one. Obviously Mookie's Catering, Bonner Mobile Bar. So obviously with the new caterer that we got rid of the old caterer, they did both the food and the bar. I hired Bonner Mobile Bar to come in and do our bar. They do a bunch of events at the Barron Real Estate building, so they're familiar with the area, that building. So looking forward to that. Nice, George, stealing my beer. All right. Gray uniforms again, guys. Please, please, please. Bring your veterans I'm talking to. Bring your pants. Don't forget your pants. I know a lot of guys are more concerned about the gray jersey, but don't forget your gray pants, please, because you're not getting those. You're just getting the top. The home and derby went over. All right, another change. I'm getting rid of the most hits award. Now, maybe that was the Ed Kranepool award. You may be asking why. Over the last few years, if you've noticed, there's either been a lot of ties, or the same person wins the hits award and the average award because it tends to be the same. It's a very similar stat, obviously. So I'm getting rid of that, and it is going to be replaced with the David Wright comeback player of the year award. So, I mean, that speaks for itself. Veterans, it's obviously geared towards you. Any veteran can get it. So the coaches will be tasked to award that to campers. And then the tops cards. All right, so the list that everybody's been asking me to get to speak about. What to bring? Obviously, your mitt, rubber or plastic cleats, no spikes. Again, no spikes. Your own jock, supporter. You don't want to share that. That would be gross. Batting gloves, helmets, bats. I already mentioned the helmets and the bats. We provide them, but you can bring your own if you want. Make sure you have your name, number, and all that stuff in it. One thing people tend to forget to bring is swimming trunks. Now, the swimming trunks are for the hot and cold tubs. You get full use of the whole training room, guys. So especially rookies, you get the hot tub and you get the cold tub, and they're very, very nice. You know, the guys that went to Syracuse will see they know the difference between the small little, like what you see in Major League, the movie, compared to the like jacuzzis. Okay, so the jacuzzis are here. So there's many times I can't even tell you how many photos I have on my phone of 15 men all together in a cold and hot tub. So it's very popular, to say the least. So make sure you bring swimming trunks. I suggest you bring older ones because everything's heavily bleached. So or chlorinated. Sorry, not bleached. Sorry, all the pool guys are yelling at me right now. So they tend to fade. So if you have an older pair, wear them. Shower shoes, another thing people tend to forget. Little flip flops. You know, it's just yeah. I don't have to explain that. Personal hygiene, toothbrush, deodorant. Now, you could bring your own. The clubhouse guys do offer. They do have shaving cream, razors, toothpaste, all that stuff. We do have like a whole bunch of that laid out for everybody. Soap too. But you could bring your own if you want. You could leave everything in your locker. You don't have to worry about anybody touching your stuff. The only people going to be touching your stuff is the clubbies when they're going in and out of your lockers, putting your clothes up and stuff. That's it. No one should be snooping around anybody's lockers. Wow, that's a typo. I said blue uniform top last year. Look, I'm trying to screw you guys up. Don't bring the blue uniform top. I'm sorry. I should have deleted that. I didn't see that. Cash. Okay, so a lot of people have asked me about this as well. How much cash do I bring? Couldn't tell you. You're gonna have that free night of dinner. You're gonna have Kangaroo Court casino night. Because when you're out of chips, you can go buy more play money. So you need cash for that. And again, that money goes to charity. So bring that stuff. You know, I mean, a lot of guys go to the bar at night. You know, your team might go to the bar at night to chill out and have drinks. So just, you know, bring a good hand, you know, good cash. Another thing, tips, clubhouse dues. These guys are busting their tails off all week to make sure your clothes are clean, that your cleats are clean, that, you know, they go above and beyond. You really are treated like a big leaguer when you're here. And so a veteran from each team will go around and just collect some money. I don't know what it is. I don't get involved with tips at all. So I'd rather not. But that is amongst you guys. Obviously, if the service was good, you tip. I mean, that's just a general rule of thumb anyway. So, and same thing for coaches. And I think that's it. Oh, and trainers as well. If you get work done a lot, you should probably tip the trainers. Workout clothing. Now you are going to get shorts and t-shirts and some other gear when you're here, but I always say it's better to bring a couple pairs extra just in case. You know, that way it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So Sharpies and pens. I have a very limited amount of writing utensils, guys, and so bring your own Sharpies and pens. If you want a silver Sharpie to write on, have Doc sign something, you know, make sure you bring a silver Sharpie. With that being said, items to get autographed. You have the coaches list. You know who's going to be here. Get those baseball cards. Get those photos. Get those things that you want to get signed while they're here. The coaches are amazing. Most of them have done this camp so many times. They know the deal. They know what they're here for. They're here for you guys. They want you guys to have fun, and they will sign anything you give them. However, be courteous, be polite. Don't bombard them all at the same time. You know, these guys they'll like I said, they'll bend over backwards for you. So just be a little respectful, and I don't think anybody will have a problem with that, but just throwing it out there. Phone battery pack, that's another thing that's usually people like to bring. And then business casual clothing for the dinners. And just extra loungewear. Alumni coaches. So the commissioner's Doug Flynn, who's pictured there with me, chilling out at a championship game. Rookie coaches. So I made this obviously before I got Preston today. Dylan G. Dylan couldn't make it tonight. He is our new coach for week 1, and Glendon Rush is our new coach for week 2. I think Glendon might be on here, but I'm very happy to see these guys here. I've had very great conversations with them. They're excited. They're very good guys, and you know me, I always love bringing new guys in and seeing how they react to everything. So they're looking forward to it. Also Preston, I talked to him today. He's very excited. I'll probably team Preston and Mookie together. So it'll be our first father-son coach duo, which would be pretty cool. So Doc Gooden, he always roams around and kind of does like a pitching coach for every team almost. So if you're pitching on the mound, you're struggling, you might get a visit from Doc to straighten you up. And then Terry Collins, this is a new one. Terry is going to be joining us a couple days of the week to hang out and bounce between the fields and kind of coach along and you know, just chat with everybody. Terry's really grown on the fantasy camp. A lot of you know that he's come to the dinners in the past and kind of said a speech, and he asked me this year to be more involved. So it's great to see TC. I mean, he lives down here, so it's great. But he's very excited as well. 2 coaches per team. I mentioned the autographs availability. So one thing that a lot of guys, especially rookies, are always worried about or always curious about, you know, you get drafted on a team, you got 2 coaches, right? You don't have to stick to your 2 coaches, guys. You're more than welcome when you're walking around in the locker room to go talk to guys who are not your coaches. That's what they're there for. So don't be afraid. Don't be bashful. Don't be hesitant. If you want to go meet Mookie Wilson and your coaches is Mackey and Figgy, like, go talk to Mookie. They're not going to get mad. You know, we're all here to mingle and mix with everybody. So I know that's one thing that a lot of people are always saying, like, oh, I didn't think it was right. No, please go. You're here to have fun and meet your idols. They're here to meet you. So make it happen. You can't be bashful. Can't be bashful. All right. So when I was going over this earlier today, I realized this map was the first rendition of all the new stuff. So you'll see the minor league complex is a little different than what it actually is, because this is what it was supposed to look like before they cut it out of the renovations. So that building where right below if you can see my mouse, this building is just a building. Right here are the cages and just the clubhouse. This does not exist. This is all parking lot over here. So if you are driving, that's another question you guys ask. You're more than welcome to drive to the complex. You don't have to take the bus. There is a bus every day that shuttles back and forth from the hotel to the complex in the morning. And obviously that bus is going to shuttle to Lawnwood and back for the before and after the games. But you're more than welcome to drive. I know a lot of people rent cars. It's getting to the point where I almost recommend you renting a car just because it's more convenient and you could get where you need to get. But we'll always have that bus there, especially guys. It's a broken record. I know we've all heard it for so long, but if you're drinking, please, please, please take the bus, guys. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. So take the bus. If you leave your car over there overnight, it'll be fine. Port St. Lucie is a very safe area, and plus it's locks at night, so no one can get in. But with that said, you guys will be over here. So this is Peacock Boulevard. This road down through here. I gotta move you guys here real quick. Put you over here. All right. So Field 1, which, like I said, was formerly Field 7. This is the City Field replica. This is where the championship game will be. Field 2, 3, and 4 here. This is called the Quad. Right here are the mounds, the 10 pack. That's where we'll do evaluations for pitching and catching. Usually we do like the field drills and stuff on Field 2 and Field 3 and Field 4. We never use these cages. These are all gone now. They tore those out. The turf field here, brand new field. It's beautiful. It does get hot, sorry, but it's a very nice field. And then obviously Lawnwood. For casino night, when you guys are over here, a lot of people just walked this path over to here and just kind of came around and over here. You don't have to do that. You can literally Ed, the bus driver, was taking people back and forth. So just take the bus. He'll drop you off right here. You just walk straight into the conference center, which is right here. If you can see my mouse here. So, yeah, obviously we're not playing on the field, unfortunately. Sorry. Come next year, you'll be able to play on it. But this is just a nice little map. This is also in that box drive too, if you guys want to take a look at it later. Whoa. Hello. All right, questions. All right, before I open it up, 2 questions. Actually, yeah. I'll go through some of the questions you guys emailed me. Car rentals, I just kind of touched on this already. Transportation to and from the complex. Yes, there's a bus. I just mentioned it. There's a bus every day that goes between the hotel and the complex. Like I said earlier too, Ed, if he's available, he'll take people out to dinners. He's going to take you to Lawnwood. So there is a bus. Do I recommend car rentals? It's up to you. It really is. Car rentals, I will say, are super cheap right now. I think I oversaw someone getting a car rental for the week for like $200. Super cheap. I gave you guys the code. I don't know if that was the code or not that got him that cheap of a rate, but car rentals are cheap. And gas down here is a lot cheaper than it is up in your neck of the woods. So keep that in mind too. Another question, non-alcoholic beer. No, we usually don't have that, but I can get it for you. So I will talk to Aramark, who does all of the food and stuff, and I'll get them to get out non-alcoholic beer at the facility. Now for the dinners and stuff, that's a different story. I would just say grab a bunch of non-alcoholic beer with you and just take it with you to the dinners. However, if you don't see any non-alcoholic beer there, let me know as soon as you see me, and then I'll make sure Aramark gets on it. Another question for campers who bring their own uniforms. What else should we bring? All right, so good veteran question for newer veterans. So the question is, hey, I'm bringing my uniforms. I may get a new gray one, but what else do I need to bring? What else is required of me to bring? Nothing. You're going to get a new hat. You're going to get a new belt. You're going to get new socks. You're going to get new all that stuff. So for the rookies, you guys are getting everything. You're getting full sets of uniforms. You're going to get the belt that goes with it. You're going to get socks. You're going to get a hat. You're going to get all that. Okay. So you don't need to bring any baseball type stuff unless you want an undershirt, which you are also getting. So do you guys get spoiled when you come down here? Another question is are spectators allowed? Yes. So the complex is open to the public. So anybody can come in and out and watch the games. However, the difference between a spectator and a paid guest is the paid guest can go to the dinners, can go to the casino night, can go to all that. If you want to do a casino night, a guest, it's $25. You can pay cash or check and then just give it to me when they're there. However, the big difference is, guys, for the dinners, I need to give Mookie the numbers by Monday. So write this down, tell your friend, tell everybody that's not here. I need to know your final number by Monday. So you need to get to me tomorrow, in other words. If you plan on having a guest that is not like a fan package or a family package or any of that, and you just want a wife or a friend to come to one of the dinners, you need to let me know now. There will be no, hey Doug, tomorrow's a dinner. Can I have someone come? I can't do that. Mookie needs numbers. I mean, the old caterer always got mad at me when I said, hey, I need to have another table because there's like 15 more people than expected. Guys, we got to do better and we can't do that anymore. Because then it just makes everything a mess. So please, 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 please give me your numbers. Any guests that you want to come, and it's 75 for the dinners. For each dinner. So yes, going back to that, spectators are allowed. Bring your friends. I mean, the more people at the complex to watch the games, the better. There are a bunch of locals that come and watch you guys play every year. And they get a kick out of it. So next question, casino night guest. I just mentioned that, so we're good there. Rules. Someone asked if I could go over the rules real quick. So sure. Rules. Where's my rules? All right, so in fantasy camp baseball, there's no stealing. There's no pass balls. If there's a pass ball over the first baseman's head and it hits the fence, that person gets a free base to the second. The reason why we don't do any of these things is because we want to avoid injuries. Guys, I'm telling you, the rookies especially, you just don't understand how many injuries happen in the first couple of days because people are not stretching. They're not getting you guys, a lot of you tell me that you run a lot. That's great. But running ain't going to help you with camp. Sprinting is going to help you with camp. Getting those legs stretched out. That's that explosion out of the box is what gets your muscles. So how you injure your muscles and your legs especially. So I've said it 1,000 times and I'll keep saying it. Make sure you're getting ready for this camp. Do some extra stretching and be very careful when you do it. There is no drop third strike. Runners can take leads to the cutouts. And then you can take a secondary lead, but there is no stealing. Pinch runners are to be the last physically able person, which can get really sketchy towards the end of the camp. The last physically able person that got the last out. So, and if the person that's batting cannot run, if he's just so bad that bad injured wise that he can't run down the base, then that's when a pinch runner is allowed. And that pinch runner starts. There's usually a screen behind the umpire. That pinch runner has to start behind that screen. Hang on. There's no obviously no barreling into catchers or any other position players. Please don't do that. We're not here to hurt each other. And also no fake tags or anything, late slides or anything goofy like that. No hidden ball tricks. Bunting is allowed. Hit by pitch. So if a player's hit by pitch, he takes first base. Okay. Intentional walks are only permitted to force a play out only. The batter intentional walk still hits. Okay, so another runner the last guy out will go on first if you intentional walk. Pitching mercy rule, there is a mercy rule, and the rules guys are in the box drive too, I believe. If it's not, let me know. But you'll get it in the media guide. By the way, which I meant to show you, this is not this year's media guide. Just warning you now. This is last year's media guide. It's a very nice book. It's thick as hell. This one will be thicker. It's got your profiles and all that stuff in it that you guys submitted. And in the back, it'll have the coaches profile, all the coaches who are joining. Now, some of you may not be in here, especially if you signed up late. I had to get this stuff early to the printer. I should be getting these tomorrow. Now, the book will be just a tad bit smaller because of supply chain issues. I hate using that excuse, but they didn't have the paper, so I think it's a 1/2 inch smaller. So it is a little bit smaller, but it has the camp history. It has all kinds of cool stuff in it, guys. So when you get this, be sure to look through it. It's got the schedule, the rules, the actual Met schedule, a bunch of nice informative stuff. And you guys really loved this last year, so I'll keep doing it until you tell me to stop. So going back to the rules, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Helmets are to be worn at all times, including in the cages. Now, I know a lot of you don't like wearing helmets in the cages. Guys, please wear your helmet in the cage. And also, campers are not allowed to throw BP in the cages in the mornings either. Let the coaches do that. No hidden ball tricks. Already went over that. I already mentioned this, but no one under 35 is allowed to pitch unless the teams agree on it after an elimination game. Okay. So, like I said earlier, please let them pitch. You know, it's not going to be the end of the world. It used to be that way anyways. So, just to make it more fair for competition wise, we decided to implement that rule. And also with that rule, we implemented no pitchers are limited to 7 innings a day. There will be no resetting of that this year with the little hubbub from last year. 7 innings a day, that's it. No more one guy carrying the entire team for the entire tournament. That ain't gonna happen, guys. Sorry. And then the whole trade thing. I know you guys all answered that. Trading, that whole thing happens after the draft. You guys never even see it, so it doesn't even really matter if you requested it or not. If you're teamed up with somebody, you will be traded with that person. It only happens once or twice every year, so if at all. So don't worry about that either. And that is it. All right, so let me open up the stop share. Okay. I just realized, is this thing not okay? It is recording. Whew, I would have been really bad. I'd have been having a lot of mad people if I didn't record this. All right, let me look at the chat real quick, and then I'll open up and let people speak to me. Speak to me. And of course, this is all joshing around. So, yes. So, Ritzer, good point. Time clock for week 1, guys. The clock's changed, so be sure you're mindful of daylight savings time, which needs to be obliterated from everything. Since we don't live off the sun and farmers don't need it anymore. But anyways, that's a different rant for another story. So make sure you change your time on your watches and phones and all that. Is there a limit on guests for dinner? I mean, there really isn't a limit on guests, Eric. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, I can't. I mean, are you bringing the freaking army with you? Like, the only reason why I'm hesitant, guys, is because I mean the Baron building, it's nice and all, but that stage they added is huge and it took up a lot of room. So it was a surprise for me last year, and we had a smaller camp. We filled up the room, so I don't want to. I want to make sure we can all fit. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here, people. We need a Doug shirt that says "Please, please, please." I should just make a shirt and wear that the whole week. Nobody else had questions in here. It looks like just asking, or goofing around. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to do this, and I know I'm going to regret it. I'm allowing you to unmute yourself. So guys, please, one at a time. Unmute yourself and ask me if you have a question. And go.
Doug, I have a question.
Damn, that was quick, Tully.
So when we go to the Lawnwood facility,
Yes.
do we go to the Mets complex first in the morning for meetings and breakfast, or?
Of course,
just
yeah.
straight there?
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me get a schedule up. I mean, you should have, I mean, you guys, I mean, especially you, I mean, like the veterans, they know how much time there is in between stuff. So I've also told Aramark, the caterers for the complex, I'll be in close contact with whoever's there at Lawnwood, and I'll probably go over there a couple times too. Oh, and one thing before I got Lawnwood on them, the video guys and the photographers will not be at Lawnwood. Okay, it's just too far out, and we want to make sure everybody gets the pictures at this complex. But going back to that, we'll make sure the food and everything is still out there if your games are running late. So no matter what, you come back, you eat. I don't want you guys going out and not eating or anything like that. You come back and eat, and then you know, because you may not. I can't remember off the top of my head, so forgive me, but I think I scheduled the first 4 games anyways. Excuse me, where. No, I don't think any teams are playing there in the morning and in the afternoon. Now, that might get a little dicey and a little weird later in the playoff structure, just because when you do the playoffs and you got eliminations and stuff, You may play a team that you played before. That's just the way it rolls. I mean, there's no way of avoiding that. And please don't ask me to change the schedule, guys. Good Lord. Just because you played a team once. But no, with the Lawnwood stuff, I try the way the schedule's laid out right now, you're only playing Lawnwood once. And I think there's like 2 teams that aren't even scheduled at Lawnwood at all until the tournament follows through. So I'm going to keep an eye on that when I do schedule the next set of games when the playoffs start, and try to make sure the 2 teams that didn't play at Lawnwood play at Lawnwood during the playoffs. Does that make
Doug?
sense?
Doug?
Yeah. Yep.
You showed, the map of the complex, which, the veterans know, and hopefully the rookies will acclimate to it. But you didn't have a map from the complex to Longwood. Do you have it in PowerPoint of like the directions or where that is in regards to Port St. Lucie Boulevard and all that?
I don't have a map. However, the directions file that's in the box file has the address and directions of how to get there. You'll also get a printout of that when you get here. If you want to look it up, guys, it's super simple. Just look up on Google Maps and just type in Lawnwood Stadium, and you'll see exactly where it is. It's like 2 minutes from my house. It's up in Fort Pierce. I mean, it's a huge complex. They have football field, they have baseball fields, and softball fields. You can't miss it. It's very easy to get to too.
Yeah,
Good
let me
knowledge.
ask you a question.
Go ahead, Ian.
Are you, just quick, you sent out a really good packing list last year by email. Do you still have that? Can you send it out again?
That's what you just looked at.
Did I? Oh, sorry about that.
I believe the list is already on the box drive. So if it's not, let me know. I'll put it on there, but I'm pretty sure it's on there.
Doug, how are the numbers? How many players per team?
So right now, week 1, I've had a little jumbling up here recently. Another guy canceled today. Ooh, hang on. Week 1 is at like 130. Week 1's at 138, and week 2 is at 136, I believe. So do the math on that.
So your goal was 140, right?
Well, yes and no. Like, I mean, 140 was my max. I signed up 150 people because they always cancel.
Right.
I always have a crap ton of cancellation. So I knew that was going to happen. I got down to like 129, like a few weeks ago, and I had to, like a month or so ago. So I had to refill it up. So we had more cancellations than I ever expected. So, but
Yeah,
we're good now.
Last year we only had 10 on our team, and injured by the time we got to the playoffs, we had like 2 guys who could run.
Yeah, no, it's a slippery slope. It's a gray area. It really is, because I mean, there was one year I had like 13 guys to a team, and everybody complained there were just too many people on a team. So unless your team has like a lot of injuries, which God forbid, I think there was one year on Frank's team I played for him. I played second base for 3 games, I think, because
Last year we had Shirk and Toley play like a ton of games for us.
Yep. So I mean, I mean, we don't know what injuries are going to happen. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, hopefully no injuries happen, but it's going to happen. We all know that. So, but right now I think it comes out to like 12 guys to a team or something.
That's good.
Yeah, something like that.
That's great. All right, thank you.
Doug, our first year, so we're just curious, for the workout day, is it really shorts, or should we extra baseball pants, or what do most people do?
The evaluations?
The evaluations.
The evaluations, we used to wear the uniform. But that's what I was saying this year. Don't wear your uniform. So wear the shorts.
Right, we're getting the t-shirt, we should bring shorts, or we're getting shorts?
You're getting shorts, but like I said, I would bring extra pairs of like undershirts for under your jersey and shorts. They're like 1 or 2 pairs. Nothing crazy.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Next.
Low
Nobody?
profile hat.
I did order low profile hats, so they have a very limited amount. If you requested a low profile hat, you should have one
Thank you.
in your locker. So with that, guys, with your locker, so a lot of you don't really know your hat size. I've known from experience. So when you get here, you may have a hat that doesn't fit you. So if you do have that situation, just take your hat, go give it to the clubhouse guys, and swap it out for the one that fits you. T-shirts used to be that way, but unfortunately with your names on the back, if you didn't give me your right t-shirt size, then you're SOL. I I'll have extras, but they're not gonna have your name on it. And it won't have your number on it. But if they have them available to give out, they will. So just keep that in mind too.
How many father-son pairs this year?
Ah, man, you had to ask me that, didn't you? Including Mookie and his son.
One right here.
Nobody
there's
cares,
Joe
old man. Move
Kodos.
on.
Hey, no shouting from the peanut gallery.
There's a few. There's a few. There's a few. There's a well, I mean, a lot of you know Ed and Kathleen. So we have our first husband and wife and son trio. So Kathleen Kathleen came to Syracuse camp. She absolutely loved it. Had some spots open up, so she joined us for the regular camp. So we're looking forward to having that first trio.
So how do you pick which one of those doesn't end up on the 2-person roster?
That one I'll make an exception. But yeah, so there'll be quite a few. Totally. Who else? Next question.
Doug, you mentioned that there was a list for the Sunday bus from the airport.
Yes.
How do you get on that list?
You email me.
Okay.
I mean, in all honesty, though, the bus on the way back, I mean, I have a list, but I've literally never used the list because the bus is leaving at 3. Be on there or be screwed. So just make sure if you're at the complex and you're ready to go.
Sunday was the day I was concerned about. So
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, if you're at the complex and the bus is ready to leave, you jump on it. Even if
All right.
you're not on the bus list, if you want to jump on the bus and get there early, go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Doug,
Yes.
I heard a rumor that like we're gonna put teams. You guys are gonna put teams together, and then you're just each coach is gonna pick a team. This way, everything's fair.
I have not yet discussed it with the coaches. So some of the coaches that are on here are hearing that for the first time. We did
Oh, I
briefly.
apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. It's been thrown around a lot. That is a possibility. So and I don't know if it's going to happen, guys. So just take it for a grain of salt right now. It could happen. I got to talk with all the coaches when we get there. Some other camps do it, but the idea is to make all the teams as fair as possible. So what would happen in this case is that all the coaches get together and draft all the teams together. They're not drafting their team, they're drafting all the teams. So that every team is making sure they got a pitcher. Every team makes sure that has a catcher, a good hitter, good fielder, good first base, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down the line. And from the feedback from Youngblood, actually brought it up last year. And we actually discussed about doing it for week 2 last year, and we decided not to. But he said the overall reaction of it at that other camp that he was at was overwhelmingly positive. So we might try it. And if it doesn't work, we won't do it again. So that'll be a discussion I have with the coaches when we're there. So
Are you gonna tell us one way or another?
No.
Or we won't even know.
You won't know.
So don't ask.
I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure. Trust me. I'm sure it'll get out there somewhere.
Brian.
No matter how I decide to do it, I guarantee you guys will find out one way or another.
Yeah.
But in the interest of making the teams more fair, because and I know I've said it. There's a team that'll be 0-7 and they lost every single game because they just didn't have the pitching or whatever, and I don't want to see that happen. And then the coach will be like, "Oh, we had a great time." It's like, well, you did. I mean, I'm glad you did, but wouldn't you had a little bit better time if you actually won a game? So that is the idea behind it. So like I said, I have not made a decision on that. It's not really a big deal, I don't think. We'll let the coaches, I'll talk to all of them and we'll decide it the day before we start doing the draft, and we'll see what happens. And like I said, if we do it, it doesn't work, then we'll not do it again. So I mean, that's a lot of things are trial and error. So
If it doesn't work, we get our money back, right?
oh
Yeah.
shush.
Hey, just so you know, Doug, a lot of campers are thinking that's a great. At least the people I spoke to thought it was a great idea to make parity.
Yeah, no, I've had a lot of people say it's a great idea. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't know, we'll have to see." So I mean, listen, my motto and you guys all know me, or well, most of you know me for a long time, and I like to try new things, and you never know if it's going to work or not. I've learned that the hard way. I mean, if something works, great. If not, no big deal. Don't do it again. So that I feel like that's another thing, and it's such a minor thing too. I mean, you're still going to have teams. Everybody's going to be on a team, so we'll see what happens. Any other
One more
questions?
quick, are a 1 year helmets okay? Your flaps?
Yeah.
Those allowed?
As long as you're using it correctly.
Hey Doug, you got 100 guys on here. You want to take a vote?
No.
It's on the front ear.
No. Yeah.
Doug, were you gonna touch on, I thought you said it earlier in the tonight that you were gonna address suggestions for packing.
I did that already.
No, not what to bring, but
Oh.
since you're bringing more stuff back than you're gonna be leaving with. Whereas I'm gonna be coming back with a couple more uniforms and whatever we're getting there.
Yeah.
So like, do I need an empty suitcase to bring down with me?
Oh. I mean, I've never had to answer that question actually. Veterans. I'm gonna defer to you guys.
You
A
make it fit.
collapsible duffel bag, a collapsible duffel bag.
What
Nice
you're
and
getting.
easy.
Backpack.
What you're
Doug,
getting.
Doug is
Everything-
giving you a
everything that
bag,
Doug
so you
gives
can
you.
probably
Yeah.
fit everything in that
You're
bag.
giving the backpack. That's gonna
There you
help.
go. There's your answer, Tony.
All right, sounds good.
UPS.
And yeah, and like what he said, was that Al? Was that you that
Yeah.
said that? Okay. Like what Al said, if you have a bunch of stuff, there's a post office, there's UPS, there's FedEx, they're all right there in that vicinity of the stadium, so you could easily just go over there and ship it.
Doug, I
Um,
said UPS because I retired from UPS. That's the only reason.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll
Sorry, I
use
had
the
to throw
post
FedEx
office
out
because
there.
I'm retired from the post office.
Then
There you go.
everybody use FedEx.
There you go. All right. Any other questions? If
Thanks,
not,
guys.
Doug, is the non-alcoholic beer going to be separated from the alcoholic beer? Because I might vomit if I actually have to drink, if I might drink that by accident. Just asking.
if you
That's,
do
that's
that,
Wanaka, isn't it?
yes, that's Wanaka.
And when-
I'll just,
and when
I'll just,
you go-
nah, he's lost his microphone privileges. He's done. Mute.
Yep. When he says something, he just means the shakes.
Any other serious questions?
Doug, check in the clubhouse. What, they taking temperatures again or not?
No. We're done with that. God, we're done with that crap.
Thank God.
Hey, what are you asking that shit for, bro? Get out of here. This is Florida,
Hey,
bro.
Joe,
Welcome to fantasy camp, Ron
Joe,
Jeremy. Look at that mustache.
You live in
Jesus
Florida,
Christ.
for God's sake.
Get
Come
out
on,
of here
dude.
with that noise, bro.
Muted Monica.
You've
It's like
lost
the
your
guy
talking
had a heart
abilities.
transplant or something.
I know, right? All right, guys. Any more real questions? We could do this all
I got a
night.
question.
Yes, go ahead, Craig.
What's eligibility for the Hall of Fame?
So eligibility for the Hall of Fame is 5 years in a row or 7 years off and on. So like if you had a year where you missed camp for whatever reason, you'd have to do 7 years at that point. So I will say the eligibility list is very long this year. So the guys have their work cut out for them.
I vote Rosie.
So that is the eligibility.
Thanks.
Yep. Anybody else?
So in all seriousness, Doug, I remember somebody last year wanting to use the weight room and was told you can't
No.
use the weight room.
No weight room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is-
Liability.
Doug, is the
Liability.
bound back good?
Is the what?
Is the bound back? The bound, B-A-U-M.
Yeah. Wood composite. Yep. As long as it's wood composite, I don't care if it's bamboo or whatever. As long as it's wood, not metal. Don't cork your bat.
No cork, yeah.
Anything else? Who? See, Ed, we have you here. Who are the other coaches that are here? Ed, you want to say anything real quick to the guys?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're
Yep.
good. I can hear you.
Well, I'll say a couple things. This will be my 22nd fantasy camp. And I've never seen the preparation, dedication, planning, resources, facility that Doug Dickey has put together for this. This is the greatest camp I've ever seen. And the other thing I want to say is what Doug said earlier. In all the camps that I've been to, the number one thing that goes out is your legs. So, and what Doug hit it on the head, if you're going to do any kind of conditioning, do sprints, because the last thing you want to do is be sitting injured during the playoffs. So make sure your legs are in shape in terms of sprinting is the number one thing. So that's the thing to do. And I thought Doug's advice was perfect. That's all I got, Doug.
All right, thanks, Ed. Mac, are you still here? I see your iPhone's still here. You want to say anything, Mac? Mackie?
Nope.
Mackie. Guess not, Mackie. Ah, failed. Any other
Hey,
coaches on
Doug,
here?
looking forward to it, fellas. I'm a rookie.
Wait, who's that? Is that Glennon?
Yeah. What's
Where'd he
up,
go?
guys?
Woo!
I don't see your screen. Where'd you go?
I think I'm on there. Can you
He's
see it?
there.
Oh, there you are. There you are. I see you. I have you on gallery view, so it's hard to. I see a bunch of faces.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Glennon's a rookie guy, so this will be his first camp. So I know he's excited about it. I'm excited to have him. So yeah, Glennon, what are you looking forward most about it?
I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I've actually listened to your whole rundown on the camp, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be there week 2. I wish I could have done both weeks. So hopefully maybe next year I can. But I got my arm in shape, so I'll try and slither a few 80-mile-an-hour fastballs up there for you guys to take a whack at.
Yeah,
Look
forward to it.
All right.
All right, Doug, I'm here.
Thanks, Glenn. Mackie. Oh, Mackie finally. Thanks,
I hit the
Glendon.
wrong mute button.
Yep.
What other mute button were you
I
hitting,
was looking
Mac?
at I was looking at Bobby Whalen and I was falling asleep.
Any
No,
words
the
of
only thing I
wisdom,
would say
Mac?
is to all the rookies, basically, the key is coming to having a good time. And like Ed said, you need to get your legs in shape because, you can lose them in the first day if you give it everything you got. I mean, that quick you can lose your legs. But the key is this. Remember, we're all down here having a good time, and the coaches are going to rag on you or give you a hard time about something. If you don't like it, just say hush. That's all I need to know. But we just like to have a good time. So we're always janking and doing what we do. And if you can handle Alabama accent, you'll know it's me.
Nice. Thanks, Mac. Any other coaches on here? Any questions for the coaches that are on here? How about that one? No? No? Any questions for me? Any more?
Nope.
You guys are all quiet now. I guess I bored everyone out, huh?
Who you want to see win the World Series?
Yankees. Houston.
Astros.
Houston.
Anybody but the
Philly.
Yankees.
No, not Philly.
Anybody but the Yankees.
Padres.
Or Phillies, Padres.
Everything.
Manchester United.
Everything.
Yeah.
There you go.
Padres or Astros. It has to be. The other two are unacceptable.
I
from
can't
me.
accept I can't accept
the
Philadelphia.
Phillies or the Yankees. The hell with both of them.
Everything ends in a tie. Yay, sports. No Stankies.
Yep. Yeah.
Baseball season ended 3 weeks.
Can I still?
Yeah.
Can I still?
I agree with Ken.
Ed, what flavor of Ben and Jerry's can I bring you?
I'm sorry, what was that, Stevie?
I said, what flavor Ben and Jerry's can I bring you?
What are you gonna have? What do you?
Actually, you know what?
You
Now
see
that
that.
Here, Steve, I'll bring one.
now that you
Some new
mentioned that,
flavors.
so the whole Joe Boo locker guys, I don't know where we're gonna put Joe Boo because there ain't no more lockers. So we'll have to figure that one out. I'll let Molly and those guys figure it out. But Joe Boo will be there, and his collection of liquor. So keep that in mind. But
Sounds like Washenko's out of luck.
Yeah.
no, you know what? You know what we'll do? We'll just kick Washenko out, and we'll put Joe Boo in Washenko's locker.
All those in
fair, right?
favor? Aye.
And then for week 2, it'll be George's locker. We'll take George out and put out.
Week 2, I will give up my locker for Joe. You need. I'm already donating. Week 2, Joe Boo can have my locker. I can change anywhere else.
Hey, I don't need a
Offerings for
locker.
Joe Boo are
I'll just hang out
accepted,
in
yes.
the refrigerator with the beer, so I'm good. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. I'm done. I don't have anything else. I don't think. I'm sure you'll get an email or two from me, but before you all head down here. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy the weeks. You'll see me on that first day. Again, between now and then, if you guys have questions or need anything, let me know. I am super busy, but I always have time to talk to you guys. So, yeah. Oh yeah. So here's the play dollars if you were curious about that. But, yeah. So if you have anything, you can hang around a little bit, ask me questions, stay on for a little bit longer, and then, you guys are free to go. Otherwise, look forward to seeing
Look forward to meeting the new guys. Look forward to
And for all the new guys, Doug, as the coach has said, he does a phenomenal job. If there's a problem, go to Doug. He doesn't give up. He'll fix anything. And just have a great time. And look forward to seeing all you guys in 2 weeks.
And
Same here.
put Richard down as your referred by.
Oh, absolutely. You refer that.
All right, guys, you guys all have my
Call-
number, have my email. You're good to go. So let me know if you need anything.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate all the
pleasure, guys.
information.
Thanks,
pleasure.
Doug. I'm going to take off.
Enjoy
Take
the
care,
night,
you
guys.
guys.